Hey everybody, it's Andrew and welcome back to Sunrider Liberation Day, The Return chapter. Almost flubbed that, didn't do it, went straight on. Anyway, last we left off, I managed to actually get a car in a very drunken stupor. And I learned a valuable lesson from that. Never do that again. You can probably notice there were jump cuts of me cutting out stupid bullshit that I was rambling on about that I should not have been talking about. Or at least, well, okay, not should not have been, but more like, shouldn't have been talking about in that frame of mind. Nothing wrong with the topic so much as how I approached it, and that's all you're gonna get. Also, much more importantly than that, it kind of led into what I'll describe as one of the more frightening experiences of my life. Thankfully, there was nothing important in the end, but anyway. Moving on from there. Completely sober. Abstaining from alcohol for a bit. Just a bit. I can't do it forever. So yeah, we've already done Akari. Now we're going to move on to Sola, because, as I said, I believe that was still left in the last episode. I said last. I think. Well, regardless. Anyway, we're going for Sola now. Also, you may or may not hear people talking outside. I don't know. I've been waiting for them to shut the fuck up. They kind of have, but I've been hearing them off and on, so it might be unavoidable. I wanted to go and record this now, but they're out there and I can't really control what they do, so hopefully they won't be that loud that you can hear in the video. I'm rambling. Ugh, neck is stiff. The only person who would ever believe this crazy story would be the fellow time traveler, Sola. Yeah, and also, well, that didn't happen yet, although she may have already been considering what she told us at the end of Liberation Day proper, so maybe she'll have some... Because there was only like a flashback, I believe, to Sola talking about this. So maybe this will lead into her giving Shields the spiel now, or at least reminding him, I don't know, whatever. She was the most knowledgeable about lost technology out of everyone on the ship, and from what he could remember, Sola was the one who told him the truth about Claude. Okay, never mind, he remembers, meaning he had less to explain to Sola compared to the others. Right, okay, good point. Aye, so good, Shieldsy boy. We're going to our resident lost technology expert. Come on, let's go find Sola. Okay, Captain. T-minus 63 hours. Now, another important note is I don't know how I'm going to approach this, because being an idiot worked with Akari, but it's not going to work the same every time. And also, there's going to be new, potentially new things that happen with Sola, I'm assuming, so I don't know. I may attempt to do this an intelligent way this time, and not completely fuck everything up, and just see what happens if I stealth through this. Maybe I'll die, but maybe I don't know. We'll see how things proceed from here. If it looks like it's gonna be the same bullshit where I have to get Chigara and we'll kidnap her, I may try and... Well, that's after... We'll see. We'll just see. And I am gonna endeavor to skip through bullshit that we've obviously seen before. Because there's no point in you sitting here watching me click through this shit. There's no point. Shields peered into Sola's quarters to check whether she was alone. I see little fucking details. Love them. The butterfly? What the fuck is that? And thankfully, he found her sitting by herself on a table reading a hollow. Psst, Sola. Come here. Ah? Oh god, it's always the fucking mysterious, yes, Captain. It's always that fucking pose. Not complaining, it works for her personality. Plus, it looks cool. She looked up with curiosity at her unexpected visitor. Sorry for interrupting, but we kind of have an emergency here. Okay, so I think they've quieted down again. For now, at least. Anyway, yeah. This is going to be sudden, but I already know that you and Claude are time travelers. And Well, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. I think originally they thought she was like preserved or something, or anyway. In fact, I'm a time traveler myself now, and I've arrived from the fucking stop, and I've arrived from the future. After you've explained all this, there's another kid who shields in my office right now who's the captain you know in this timeline. Click. We've traveled back in time from the future to prevent a disaster from occurring. 3 days from now, after we've successfully liberated Sarah, a mass assassination will occur. Will occur during the victory celebration, where the entire Top Alliance military leadership will be murdered by Chigara, a prototype sleeper agent. Therefore, also in the process enraging Pact and causing them to storm across the galaxy. We have to do everything in our power to prevent that tragedy from occurring, or else we'll spark orbiting the Solar Alliance Pact so huge it'll threaten to end humanity as we know it. That's just Sola being Sola, though. I don't say that as her being like incredulous or anything. That's just Sola took in every word he said wordlessly. Not even a flicker of doubt on her face, or anything on her face, really, except for her face. That's about all there is in most cases. Every so often, there's like a blush or maybe a tiny little what counts as a smile. Understood. I shall aid you in this endeavor. Wait, should have gone to you first. She closed her hollow and stood. Shield sighed in relief. He knew that Sola was cool-headed, but to actually see her readily accepting his ridiculous story that a trace of doubt brought unspeakable relief to Shield's mind. Maybe they had a... Without warning, Sola rolled to the floor and reached under her bunk. Oh, no. Did I speak too soon? Great. Before Shields could make a move, Sola faced Claude with a pistol in her hand. Shields tensed. Shit. Had he relaxed too soon? What was going on? Captain, this woman is not who you think. Sola? She's working with the prototypes. Well, she was. Shields backed away from Claude upon hearing this latest revelation. What? Ara. Come to think of it, he knew next to nothing about Claude except for what he could glean from his fragmented memories of the future. Why did she send her back to the past? What was her goal here? Doc, is Sola telling the truth? Ma. Partially. The Claude Trilio currently in this universe is aligned with the prototypes, yes. Well, we don't need the, Unless she brings up that she falsified the report about Chigara, then she's gonna spill the beans here. But that was me in the past. That was me in the past. I've turned a new leaf. Poor Claude's turned a new leaf. Thank you. It's a common phrase, I'm not surprised. I'm fighting for the good guys. Wait, seemingly there's another Claude too? Yes, just like your doppelganger in your office. Isn't there Claude in this sick bay right now? Well, that complicates things. I need some answers, Doc. Why were you working with the prototypes during this time period? A simple I'm adventurous, that's all. I thought to run out the galaxy around you, just like the prototypes. But after the Liberation Day massacre occurred, I realized their interests diverged. That's when I left the prototypes and took matters in my own hands. The prototypes wanted what? Yeah, they sought to make you the leader of humanity, and to control you as a puppet so they could rule the world in your stead. Oh, so they would rule in your stead, but let's just say the plan never quite panned out, due to division within the prototypes themselves. That's quite a lot to take in. Sola now very untrusting. I was only hoping the prototypes accomplished that, but then the massacre happened. Yeah, I'm not gonna... She's useful. I'm not gonna just turn her away. Captain, you really trust Claude? You trust... Not really. You're not the only person who's changed thanks to the Liberation Day massacre. Honestly, in the same way. I was completely blind. It wasn't up until I had the benefit of hindsight that I realized how wrong I was in this time period. Maybe it's the same way with you, Claude. Yes, Captain. I don't know if that's just her... Honestly, what's Claude? I have no idea. Sola, you can put the gun down. No matter the circumstances, we're going to have to solve this together. We don't have the time to fight amongst ourselves. Understood. Sola put the gun down, but kept it holstered just in case. Yeah, I would too. Plus, it's good knowing she has a gun on her. For now, our common goal is to prevent the Liberation Day massacre from occurring. We can worry about who was working for who after the immediate crisis has been averted. Now, he had to put the next course of action in motion. Unfortunately, he hadn't given this part much out himself. It looked like he would just have to come up with something on the fly based on the fragmented memories he had of the chain of events which led to the Liberation Day massacre. Chigara will enter the prototype's mind stream tomorrow, during the battle for Sarah. It will be at that moment that the prototype's leader will embed herself into Chigara's mind in order to mind control her during the victory celebration. We must take every action to ensure that Chigara does not enter the mind stream. Seems like a simple enough solution. That's not a solution, it's a goal. From what I can remember, Chigara as she is now would be utterly incapable of killing a single insect, much less a room full of people. The sole cause of Chigara's actions that day was her body being controlled by the leader of the prototypes, who we had all presumed to have died in the Nightmare Ascendant. If we were to simply prevent Chigara from being mind-controlled, the massacre would never happen. I see. We must capture her within 24 hours and ensure she does not enter the mind stream tomorrow. However, the entire situation is not so elegant, as simply removing Chigara from her action during the Battle of Sarah may vastly alter the course of history as well. Sola has a point. In fact, our ultimate liberation of Sarah hinges on Chigara entering the mind stream to release Fontana's fleet from the control of the prototypes, which was precisely the thing which we're now trying to prevent. Meaning, we have to find another way to ensure that Fontana can retain control of his fleet tomorrow without Chigara. We'll just have to make up the plan as we go. Unfortunately, I was dropped in this timeline about 2 hours ago, so we haven't had much time to formulate a detailed course of action. Very well. I shall see what can be done to limit the Chief's movements without rousing her suspicions. First, we must head to research and development. The lab? Why? Oh, Jesus! Hi, Sola. Sola leaned into him and whispered, I merely sought to distract the doctor's attention a moment while I discussed a certain matter with you. There is still a large problem. Problem? What kind of problem? The future cannot be changed so easily. What do you mean? I assume, though, she was about to go on about the whole paradox thing. But before Sola could continue, the ship's klaxon sounded. Red alert, the attack speed has made us move. Not now. Alas, I must sort here. It's okay, we don't have a choice. You've got to protect the ship, Sola. Can't talk. I can never talk. Captain, we best make ourselves scarce. The real you's supposed to be on the bridge if you get discovered anywhere else in the battle. Alright, let's go. The three of them ran out of the quarter. No. I shall return. Yeah. Sola, come back safely. Shield's recollection was coming back. It was about this time when the Pack fleet advanced, choosing to launch a frontal attack using their riders to decimate the Alliance's shield cruisers, so that their battleships could whittle down the Alliance fleet from a distance using laser attacks. Everything was happening exactly the same as before. Here now his voice over the shipwide intercom. All hands, battle stations, the Pack fleet is approaching our position. We can't have the crew see here. Okay, this should... Okay, this is so... Well, this is a variation, of course. He closed his eyes and proved that Sola would be safe. He would always be able to see the Seraphim on the battle map when things got too dicey. He'd be able to order her to turn around. But what would the Kato shields on the floor of the bridge right now do? Did he even care for as he did? Something out of his short voice on the intercom broke through his thoughts. And so, a few hours later, I think they finally shut the fuck up, hopefully permanently, for the night. Jesus Christ. Anyway, after the battle, now we're gonna go meet up with Sola. Whereas last time we met up with Akari in the hangar. Let's sneak back to the hangar to meet up with Sola. The two of them wandered into the hangar, lurking under the shadows of the rider bays again. Many kinds of again. They found Sola waiting for them beside the Seraphim's maintenance bay. I love just the sheer scale that this gives the riders. I mean, it's appropriate, and soon that fuck, I'm not gonna. I'm too to go on about whatever the fuck I shouldn't even be talking about because it's not interesting and no one cares. I have returned. So have I. Unfortunately, I have already bungled my first opportunity to put the chief out of commission. Oh, that, yeah. During the battle, the Liberty sustained a hit to its shoulder maneuvering valve, putting it in an uncontrollable path towards a packed battleship. Oh, okay, this is cool that I'm not getting this from her perspective, because in Akari's route, and I'm assuming anyone else's, after the battle, obviously, Shields has this whole recollection of what happened. But she's the one who actually stopped Chigara's, the Liberty managed to, Well, stop it from hitting the pack while I should probably. So, like I said, I'm tired now. It's been a while, but I wanted to finish the video. But anyway, it's just cool from hearing this from her perspective at this point. It's kind of sadistic though, because she missed her first opportunity to put the chief out of commission. Sola basically just said, I missed the opportunity to just flat out kill her. How would that have gone, I think, for the other Kato? That would have been interesting and horrifying. Besides, she doesn't deserve to die. I mean, even at the end of the Liberation Day story in general, and she got shot by Fontana, that was fucking brutal. That was, even if she had been possessed, she went back and just, yeah, anyway. While such an incident appeared a perfect opportunity to thwart the prototype's plans that rising at Neon with the detention, the other Claude of this timeline managed to use the Bianca's. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, never mind. That's right. I'm an idiot. You used a gravity gun at the very last moment to save the Liberty. None let the prototypes put the other Claude on board the ship to ensure that Chigar remains alive and can foster an intimate relationship with the other Kato shields. I spun my head to Claude. Claude, is this true? No shit. Is this true? Well, no shit, Captain, yes. The Omi is on board the ship to ensure that Chigara gets as close as possible to their Kato shields, so that the prototypes can figure out how to control them. Like I said though, the whole part where Chigara guns down a room full of people was due to infighting with the prototypes on ranks. That was never part of my mission at all. Alright, I understand. Don't worry, Sola. Besides, I don't want to do something as drastic as arrange Chigara's untimely death right now. Yeah, our mission is to simply capture and hold her for the remainder of the battle so she can't enter the mind stream. We don't have to kill her. Very well. In that case, the situation from the battle presents an opportunity. I remember. After the battle, Chigara was admitted to the sickbay with minor injuries. Yeah, right. If we hurry, we could nab Chigara while she's still asleep in sickbay. Now, Sola is still right that we can't just remove Chigara from the battle and expect everything to turn out the same way. I explained to Sola my prior realization about the Trojan virus embedded in Fontana's ships. I see. Then removing Chigara from the battle will all but guarantee our early demise at the hands of the prototype's fleet. I've been giving it some thought. I could send an encrypted FTL message to Fontana warning him about the virus. That way he can prepare a countermeasure right away to retain control of his ships. At the very least, he could pull back so the prototypes can't use his ships against us. Can't speak. To use the FTL comm, though, I'll need to sneak into my office while the other Kato shield is occupied somewhere else. There is another matter. If we were to simply kidnap Chigara from the sickbay, it would only be a matter of time until someone noticed their disappearance. Given the duration we must hold her, we must find a way to prevent anyone from realizing she's gone missing. Yeah, we'll go with the, we'll go with picking, switching with Lynn this time. We can put Lynn under and then swap her with Chigara in the sickbay. Unless someone would take a really close look, nobody would be able to tell the difference until Lynn wakes up. Understood. Okay, so here's the plan. And this is, well, she's still here. I'm going to keep going for now, just because I don't know what she'll do differently. Claude is going to go down to the brig and pretend that she's his timeline's doctor. She'll convince the guards that Lynn has contracted a very nasty case of sarin measles and needs immediate medical attention. She'll then cart a sedated Lynn to deck zero, handcuffed to a medical trolley. Sa. Meanwhile, I'll go into the sickbay and distract his timeline's Claude. I'm surely a piece of cake. I like that. I like to think that Claude is just there, still just for the whole fucking time. She'll just going on this. Well, it's not really a long spiel, but she keeps going. Never mind. Sola wails to the sickbay until Claude arrives at Lynn. While I'm distracting their Claude, Sola will sneak in and swap Chigara Lynn. Once the two of you have Chigara, fall back to the crew quarter 8, which is currently unoccupied. Secure Chigara there and wait for me to arrive. I'll try to beat a haste retreat as soon as I can. Once we've regrouped, Claude will use the floor access hatch to relocate Chigara to the maintenance room D4, while Sola runs the mess hall and calls either Kato shields out of the comm. I'll then use that chance to sneak into my office and send Fontana the encrypted call. Very well, then the two of us shall head to the sickbay while Claude goes to the brig. Alright, let's do this. Sola and Shields made their way to the sickbay. So, I'm guessing there's a reason why you sent Claude away? Yes, Captain. I went to jail myself. Now then, get on the... No. No. Indeed, there's more to the situation than you are likely aware of. I have only an incomplete understanding of the complexities of time travel, but the thinkers of my time postulated that rewriting the course of history by traveling back in time was neither possible or advisable. When history is changed by any appreciable degree by outside agents not belonging to the timeline, the universe they occupy will simply collapse. But what? Sola, that doesn't sound good. No, dumbass, it doesn't. Indeed, our current mission appears futile, as even if we are successful in thwarting the Liberation Day massacre, our efforts will be in vain, as this entire universe will simply cease to exist. Which, of course, is the whole conversation that they would normally have had with Chigara in the fucking room, but with, I think, Claude explaining it to Ikari and Shields. But for what purpose did Claude bring me here, then? I do not know. But perhaps it would be best if we leave the history unchanged. While the Liberation Day massacre certainly sounds like a horrific event, it simply does not compare in magnitude to the collapse of an entire universe. Okay, so while Ikari basically just sat there and went, I don't fucking understand, this is gonna make my head explode, I just, too much for me to wrap my head around. Sola is actually fucking trying to think about this herself. I like that. Obviously, Sola's a much smarter character, so yeah. It's very interesting from that perspective, which makes me wonder what a Saga would do, because fucking dumbass. Sola, but shit, what the hell is Claude thinking then? Does she really have some ulterior motive for bringing me here? Sola is Sola. I did not mean to disturb you. I am sorry. No, you don't only apologize. This is good. No, thanks for bringing this up. Yeah. There is one more thing. What is it? I want you to know. I have a vision of another universe. Of course, leading me to speculate that there are an infinite number of other universes. The situation may be different, as it were. Sola? I have no idea what you're talking about. Then say it! This is neither here nor there, but in the particular universe I glanced at, it appeared we were, together? Were... nothing at all. But my translocation across two different universes does appear to suggest that perhaps, even if this universe collapses, we could translocate into another universe, leading to a number of different possibilities. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think you would be able to actualize that yourself. Actualize that yourself? Maybe. I'm sorry, I'm not quite following this Sola. Time travel really isn't my forte. Motherfucker. I know your pride is in the way, but just fucking explain that to her. We still don't know everything about time traveling. Let's keep on and see if we can discover what Claude's after here. Understood. Ah, then is all, you fool. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm not going to take her hollow this time because, well, that basically just revealed that she was working for the prototypes in this timeline, which we already know because Sola was able to basically figure that shit out and made Claude admit the whole thing, so there's no point doing this, so we'll move on. Okay. Shields knocked on the ostensibly unoccupied crew quarters while the coast was clear. He tapped the intercom and whispered, "It's me, open up." The door opened and Shields slipped inside. Why are you smiling at me so very suggestively? I don't know what to call that, because your fucking expressions, Sola, even at the best of times, are very hard to really read into. I don't know what this is. This is like, it's almost kind of sinister. I don't know. You're back, and as you can see, the plan went exactly as planned. His Chigara tied to a chair, still unconscious from the sedation. Out of context, the plan went according to plan, and then Chigara tied to a chair from Claude. Would be very... imagine the other Shields walked on that. On Sola, or any of their characters, and Claude here. Everything went according to plan. Why is my girlfriend tied to a chair, Claude? What the fuck are you planning to do, you sick bitch? How about the self-chair? You alright, tee-hee? And yeah, she did. Okay, let's move to phase 2. Have on 10, let's get moving. Actually, something to talk about first. So, time traveling, I mentioned yet. Some of this, as Sola was saying earlier, not as flexible time perhaps as before. Yeah, here you go. Okay, so is he going to mention this to Sola then? Wait a minute, you mean a contemporary story to our universe? Let's see. Looks like you've already finally discovered the hard part of this mission. Pretty complicated to explain. Turns out, collapsed. Die anyway. What's the point of any of this? You're like a human. Yeah, I'm not gonna skip this obviously, partly because I don't know when she's gonna pop up, but I don't want to have to cut out like two seconds. So, change the future. No, can be changed. Make a choice, or let the tragedy occur. You're gonna go this. Everyone will be vanished from the face of the universe. Universe copies will be created. Yes. In this case, massacre paradox. Get universe and resolve. I understand this works into he. I am beginning to understand the nature of time travel. And she doesn't look happy about it. If a time paradox occurs, the unbinding law of causality will simply destroy the universe if the paradox occurs, and create a new one. I changed the whole fucking tense, so I'm gonna go with it, and create a new one without the paradox. A simple solution to dealing with a longitudinal possibility. Basically, in this circumstance, I intentionally sought to create a time paradox in order to manipulate laws of causality for drastic. In order to manipulate the laws of causality into destroying the universe you don't want, and integrating the one you do want. Well, it's pretty drastic, but it's not like there's anyone out there who can stop me, so teehee, you fucking... I like the more, like, maniacal Claude a lot more. It's pretty convenient, this little quirk that the law of causality has. I'm using to create and destroy... Oh yeah, right, moral knows in this way. In front of you, I want you to choose Gator Shield, here at the galaxy. That's the entire reason why I brought you here. I'll just say watch you, yeah, and she comes a little bit. Sola looks very angry right now. Claude, you bastard. She told me always. I wish she wasn't playing me like turn for the whole time. Under R. I'm getting this again? So what would have happened if I were to have pissed her off earlier? Because I'm almost positive that during Nakari's route, I didn't have this option. I mean, I don't have the option twice. I mean, yeah. So what would that have led to then? Because that opens up the possibility of pissing off Claude much earlier. Oh, that's cool. I almost want to go back into that just as like a side thing and find out. Honestly, I'm probably gonna just go back. Don't know if I'll record it, but I do plan on going back and just trying to kill myself. Because that's what you say when you're sane. Just see all the creative ways I can kill myself off in this game. I have a feeling that not only could, pissing off Claude here, if anyone else could kill me, but now if I piss off early, maybe that kills me during the assault drone thing. Maybe not having Claude there basically means she'll just dies. Huh. Because I'm pretty sure that happened before the... wibbly wobbly, my brain is stupid, so. But we're gonna keep going now. Teehee, good call, Captain. I knew I'd count on you. What you mean is I knew you were a fucking dumbass. Nah, it's not too bad. You have one choice. You have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to change the future. Isn't Claus a generous god? Teehee. Knowledge your deity on your side. Not understand how you can use your power. That'd be pretty. So basically, I can't counter to pull it. Yeah, all right. Nothing productive in the fighting much of the whatever it is been doing now. We're going to polish it. Soul's still angry. Trigger, are we going to turn to sleep? So far, this doesn't look like, you forgot, yeah. So this was going the same way we did with the Kari's round, but we'll see. She's waking up. Captain, what's going on top of this chair? And Sola? And so the room's in panic. Shit, calm your guard down. I'll protect you. Chigara, yeah, he's gonna tell her she's a prototype, and I don't think it was an Unuptus this time, which is probably gonna lead her to taking out the ship's power supply. But we'll see how that goes. With Sola here, I don't know how much this will change with her around. Truth is, you're a prototype. Artificial clone, no way. Mind controlled, so when safety. This means, and she fucking freaks out, no bakery, can't get fucked by, well, could get fucked, but won't have kids. Or, how would that work? Is she genetically viable? I don't know. That's, why am I thinking about that? Oh, can she have kids? What the fuck? It's, things are, this is what my brain does. It just does this shit. It wants to know where each of the little threads goes, even if they're extremely small. He was going. He knew this was gonna be difficult, but he had to make sure she understood the situation. Then she broke into a scream. Her mind breaks, and you're a bitch, and also a terrorist. Mahalo. Your console is still safe, and so she. Oh wait, she took off. Negative. She moved with the movements of a trained soldier, silent and swift. You've been had. Shit, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have Chigara could have been body jacked any time. That's exactly what Lynn told me when we were escaping the light pod together. All this talk about preventing her from entering the mind stream confused me to think it would be safe as long as we got her before then. You know, the reason why we're here to, while we have to prevent Chigara from entering the mind stream is the prototype leader from body jacking the leader. Yeah, wait a minute. Claude's gone. Claude, Chigara, get her? Chigara's probably going to Claude, even one of the key prototypes. I don't know. I mean, well, okay, Claude is a goddess, sure. I mean, as a human being, obviously, Alice in control, maybe, but Claude is a goddess, yeah, no. Watching me, Claude has chosen to leave us to our devices. Now we have a new, huge problem. The prototype leader laid this trap for us, we just stepped right into it. The Sunrider's main reactor has been normally shut off. Without it, we won't be able to get FTL transmissions into Montana. Even worse, we're essentially saying Duck's the lowest packed fleet now. Unless we can restore power ASAP, the ship's will be destroyed. How can we restore the ship's power? If I get to engineering, I might be able to restore the ship's power. It's a long shot, but maybe I can undo whatever the prototype has done to our systems. Boy. The Sunrider also has an emergency FTL transmitter which operates on battery pack, yeah. 237. Section 37 is far from here. While restoring the ship's power will undoubtedly prove time-consuming as well. What was the point? I need to decide which chance to prioritize over the other. If we can't restore the ship's power, then we're saying Ducks must pack attacks. On the other hand, I doubt I can just waltz in engineering and show my face and the entire crew that getting detained by ship security. And if I get captured before relaying the message of Montana, we have no choice but to allow Chigara into the mind stream, or else I'll be killed and depart assume control of Montana's fleet. Meaning, I damn better have had the warning before revealing myself. We go to the backup comm first. Then we go to engineering restore power. Understood. So is Sola coming with me then? Shields and Sola ran to the nearest into the closest maintenance tunnel and headed down to deck 2. Explain to me the specifics of the backup comm. It's one of a few systems which keep operating on about. Okay, now he's telling her this. Telling me this. I'm limited. He's going to get real thin on deck real fast. I haven't done worse. However, the redhead looks long. Beyond the lifts and trams are offline as well, so we'll be crawling through about 300 meters of maintenance tunnels. Let's hurry. She is fucking coming with me. Cool. At least for now. Well, that's gonna change things. Oh, That's interesting. If she's here, then would that negate Claude getting... Huh. After roughly half an hour of climbing down maintenance ladders and crawling through maintenance shafts hardly wider than sewage pipes, Shields could begin to seize frost vapors. There was one which oxygen made the trail more arduous. In the interest of Sola. Sola, how are you holding up, yeah? Sola's teeth were chattering, but she otherwise did not exhibit any signs of hypothermia. I can still carry on. Alright, we're about halfway there. It's only going to get colder from here on out. Keep your body moving and tell me if you lose sensation to your extremities. Understood. I'll help you warm them up. Another 40 minutes later, they nearly arrived at the destination. Unfortunately, the latter half of the trip took longer than expected thanks to the bitter cold. Shields had spun thanks to the lack of oxygen, which only made the numbness in his fingers and toes worse. Shit, I completely forgot how much he hated the cold. Ava, school uniform, thermal-weave. Sola's face was even paler than usual. She trembled weakly in the cold. Are you alright, Sola? Yes, unfortunately. Fuck, what is a hot world? You were right, you're born there, weren't you? Yes, I'm afraid the cold is an alien experience. I didn't think that sections are simply get this cold, so she's in pretty bad shape. We're almost there, Sola. Just hanging on a bit longer. Understood. Finally, Shields arrived at a tiny alcove in the tunnel. With trembling hands, he removed the wall panel, exposing the controls of the FTL comm. Icicles hung from the comm's cable, while a thin layer of frost caked the steel casing. God damn it, this thing better still be working. He pressed the activation button, the comm showed no signs of life. Shit. What the hell's wrong with this thing? He tried to troubleshoot the problem, making sure all the cables were connected. Finally, he came upon a single unplugged cable dangling at the bottom of the case. Unfortunately, the cable slot was now obstructed by a solid block of ice, making it impossible to plug back in. The hole is filled with ice. So, you means crew. Don't do it. Focus. Plug. Put plug into receptor. No. No. Is something the matter? Someone accidentally left the cable unplugged. I won't be able to turn the comm on without it, but the receptor's now frozen solid. Alas, perhaps my lifelong misfortune is sabotaging the mission. Shit. Shields racked his brain for a way to thaw the ice inside the receptor. The plug was hardly larger than a pin. It wouldn't take much heat to melt the ice inside without the proper tools. No, he wasn't thinking properly. He should have come prepared with a blowtorch or something. Hindsight always 20/20. There's only one problem. I'm going to cross the charges in the battery. It'll make the power cables overheat and melt the ice away. But the comm itself may get damaged. It's the only option we have left. Spend the power can be in smoke. Acid. Thank you. Kind of burst. She was uncrossed the charges in panic. On the bright side, the ice was now melted from the receptor. That is, if he didn't just blow up the comm. Plugged in. Did work. Did really turn the comm on. We're in business. Damn it, I actually don't have. While we're here, she'd probably murder me. How would this go with her? I don't know. I'm gonna find that eventually. Both of my list of holding about any better this message after we can send it. Looked really on Sola's face deflated. True enough, even if they had sent the message, there was no guarantee anyone would read it. It's still a long shot. Shields reattached the wall panel once again closing the comm. Come on, we've done all we can here. We need to get deeper into this ship before we freeze to death. Yes. The duo made their agonizing so it turned to the center of the ship. Their extremities were now completely numb, and their consciousnesses faded in and out because of the thin air. The return trip proved far more difficult than their first expedition, where still, since they were heading back to Deck 1, they now had to climb up frozen ladders instead of climbing downwards. Shields could hear Sola's raspy breath behind him. His chest began to pound. While he was no doctor, it was clear she was suffering from hypothermia. He had to get her out of her soon. Uh-oh. His worst fears came to pass when he heard a thud behind him. Shields turned around to see Sola pass out in the steel flooring in the maintenance tunnel. Sola! He rushed over to her and checked her vitals. Thankfully, she was still breathing, but her palms were icy cold and she was hyperventilating due to exhaustion and oxygen deprivation. Shit. I never should have brought Sola here. Her body's on the cups into cold. I should have remembered she's from Farport. Her stomach was twitching as she gagged for air, saliva bubbling at the corner of her mouth. At this rate, she was going to suffer brain damage due to the lack of oxygen or lose her limbs when her body water froze. In desperation, Shields tore his coat off and wrapped it on Sola. He gasped as the wintry air assaulted his body. Shit, it's not going to work. Without my coat, we're both going to freeze to death. Plus, the coat only works if her body is still emitting heat. If she's going into hypothermia, then her body is not generating enough heat. Well, I mean, maybe she's still just enough that the extra clothing could provide some amount of insulation, but that's all insulation is. It's going off of what your body is already producing. That's why, well, in this case, Claude's whole thing about later on about, warming children with their own body heat, that is actually accurate. That's what you have to do effectively. If you can't generate enough body heat on your own, insulation's a bust, and you die even if you're bundled up. So, you need another heat source. I don't have another choice. I'm sorry, Sola. He lifted Sola's trembling body up against him, straddling her legs around his waist and wrapping their arms against each other. He then used his coat as a makeshift blanket, wrapping both of them inside. Okay, that's more like it. His personal embarrassment be damned, you fucking dumbass. He had to warm Sola before her life was in danger. Thankfully, Sola's slender body was small enough to fit inside his coat and not too heavy to hold in his lap. Come on, Sola, live. Ellipses. After over an hour of being wrapped around Shield's body, Sola's breathing finally normalized. She opened her eyes again. Shield sighed in relief. You collapsed because of hypothermia. I managed to warm your body back up. We should still take the return ship slowly. Can you still feel your hands and feet? Yes, it appears you have saved me from the worst case scenario. Sola be Sola. Do you have my gratitude? No. Protecting your life is my responsibility as captain. It was my mistake to bring you here. I should have known you weren't used to the cold. Aww. No. Who knows what may have happened if you entered this mission alone. Oh! So, taking this alone, she just dies. If I pissed off Claude, that would have killed me. So, having Sola here, I could have pissed Claude off, and I would have lived because Sola was here with me. Oh, that's the fucking workaround. Okay. But how much time do we lose, though? The fucking difference is, I like it, connecting dots and shit. I proved to be nothing but a dead weight. No, your dead weight prevented me from being dead weight. Because of my weakness, we have lost valuable time. You should have merely left me behind. It would have been the sound decision, as your mission is far too great to be compromised by a single person. This again, how many times have to repeat myself? Stop that, Sola. For the last time, you're not a pawn to be sacrificed. I'm not going to throw you away. I'm sorry. Don't be... Sola's face blushed as I cradled her. She spoke softly, her words barely a whisper. That's Sola speaking softly, that's Sola being quiet. Sola be Sola. You were warm. Oh, look at the smile. Look at the... So cute. You can say this as long as you want. Your body still hasn't regained its full strength yet. Understood. Yes, Sola, you may remain in my arms as long as you like. The fuck am I doing? Shields could feel her body relax. And her pulse quicken. Holding me like this, in such a scandalous position. You two, everyone's fucking. Everybody everywhere is fucking it, no. Just don't worry about a thing, Sola. This is for our survival. I won't take this the wrong way. Won't take it the wrong way? Now she looks a little... You fucking baka ass captain. All of a sudden, Sola patted his arms. That's what she wanted, you stupid motherfucker. Slap your ass. So she wanted me to take this the wrong way then? Women are so complicated. No, you're just that simple. That's all I gotta say. What's this sudden awkward mood? She's so close to me I can feel her heart pounding. Told you. Was it always pounded that closely before? Sola raised her hand and put it around his back. Then it's for survival only. Yeah! Rest up, Sola. We've got a long way back. No, fucking stupid. Stupid! Stupid shields. Yes, Captain. I understand now. No, you don't. You don't understand. It's not meant to just be like a fucking... fucking idiot. Sola, what do you understand? A great many things. Or maybe she's reading deeper into this than you are, you dumbass. How they came to be together. Why a saga yearns for your other self. Why my heart beats so terribly right now. Sola. I am sorry. I have overstepped my position. We still have the mission. I could not afford to distract you. Not until the massacre has been averted. Then, perhaps in the next universe, we will finally... Somewhere in his heart he wanted the situation to continue, but his duty to the mission came first. For now, he had to swallow his feelings. You already did, you idiot! I'm ready to continue. Let us hurry. We have already lost too much time. Alright, keep close and let me know if you need to take another break. Understood. Sola finally peeled herself off shields. The two of them shivered as the icy air hit them nearly as sharply as the loneliness of being separated. They once again returned to their slow crawl back to deck 1. 47 hours, 11 hours, after what seemed like an eternity, the pair finally returned to the ship's core. They sighed in relief as the air once again became thick with oxygen and the frost in tunnels gradually disappeared. Alright, now that we got the message sent, we can suddenly restore the ship's power. The only way to do that is to head to engineering and figure out just what Jagar's done to the main reactor. Looks like there's no other way around revealing ourselves as a crew for this. Understood. I should keep a lookout and warn you that the Kato Shields makes its appearance. Okay. I'll go down there and see. There it is! Before Shields could finish, the ship shook as a massive explosion mid the hull. Ah, damn! What was that? The Sunrider is under attack. Shit, this didn't happen in my timeline. To kill us, come on, let's find a way. Let's find what's going on. Shields opened the tunnel's gate and entered engineering. Crewmen scrambled as the ship shook. Pipes burst throughout the room, spewing clouds of vapor. Without any power, the ship was both toothless and blind. Shit. I should have seen this coming. Of course, prototypes would explode. I'm kind of sink the ship. Yep. Oh, hello, Ikari. Awkward. Not really. I will end the episode here, however. This is a very perfect moment to do that. Plus, it's probably a little longer than I intended, but I intended to go a bit longer than I normally do record for, because I was going to be skipping things, so, you know, I had to at least try and account for removing segments in the episode, but this probably went on much longer than it should have anyway. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time.